Good morning. Let's do it again. We're fueling up. I'll go in and get my breakfast and my Dr. Pepper, and Phil's on his way to go get us the Anhydrous tank. We got half of one on the bar there and another full one in the field, and see how far we can get today. Right, full tank of fuel, full tank of DEF, 175 gallons. Did we fill up before we left here yesterday morning? No. So we did 300 acres yesterday, or a touch more. I had filled up in the back field, and we probably did 30 acres back there, 30 to 40 on that tank of fuel. So let's call it 330 gallon or 330 acres on 175 gallons. That's that's half a gallon per acre. That's not terrible. I know fuel's really expensive, and it is. But even at $4 a gallon, that's only $2 an acre in fuel cost for this pass. A lot of people that make the argument that we should be using 28 instead of anhydrous say that the application cost is a lot cheaper. You burn less fuel. Okay, how much less? Even if it's half as much fuel, it's $1 an acre savings. That doesn't pay for much 28. So, just saying. All right, we've got 32 acres here. This field's got some muck on it, specifically on these ends. It's very light, fluffy, soft dirt that has not been settled with the rain. So we have to drive very, very slowly here so as to not bury the corn. I accidentally buried some corn over there. But right here, we're doing okay. I kind of take the down pressure off of the openers, just basically click it out of constant so they kind of just float there. I want to stay in the ground as much as we can. Here the ground's a little harder, so we'll set them down. But when we go down in these dips here, we've got to really be careful and go slow. It appears that turn the section control off for that pass for some reason. A little overlap. Not anymore! Anhydrous bar took out everything in the middles. Look how much this ground changes color. From yellow clay to just the blackest high organic matter soils you can find. And it's got a layer of clay settled in on top of it from all the flooding. We got to really, really slow down going down through this muck. I'll try and show it. I don't know if it's going to even be able to see, but basically we get down here and the dirt gets so soft that I have to take the pressure off of the openers. We got to slow down to about 3 miles an hour just to keep it from flowing and burying the corn. It's not so bad right here, but we're coming up to where it is. The sun and the way the glare is on everything, you're not going to be able to see it, the dust. But like I can see the dirt just pushing in front of the tires on the wagon. Oh, if I open the window. You see that dirt flowing underneath there? It's kind of burying the corn. We're going really slow. There's no pressure on our openers. There's nothing I can do about it. More than what I am, I mean. And now we're starting to come up out of it. Go back up the hill, and then the ground gets a little harder. We can drop our openers back down, and now we can start picking up some speed. Well, we can still see the corn most of the way through that, so that one wasn't so bad. There's a few spots. There's a spot over there that I kind of buried a little bit. So this ground here, this field in particular, and a couple other ones in the immediate area that are wheat and beans this year. We got one more cornfield down the road. This is a good spot where that true set would work good. So John Deere offers true set on their 2510 H bars, which is their kind of adjustable tillage that you can control from the tractor from my Green Star display here. It would allow me to adjust the down pressure. So if you look real close, I don't know if you can see them right there. There's a couple of pressure gauges. Those are not pressure of the ammonia. Those are hydraulic pressure pushing down on the ranks. There's one for the mainframe and one for the wings. And so we can adjust how much hydraulic pressure is forcing those openers down into the ground. And for most everything we run, we need quite a bit of that down pressure to keep the openers in the ground. This year's been running a little bit lower than what we've had in the past. I turned them down when we started because we haven't had any rain to settle the ground. Our ground is still pretty soft, at least the top couple inches. So that's been good, but when we get in these muck pockets with this super soft black dirt, we need almost zero down pressure. And if I had TrueSet, I could actually make up a prescription map that would automatically change that as we go, or I could have some buttons with some presets that I could just flip back and forth super easy. A way I'm kind of sidestepping that right now is to just use the hydraulic to pick it up. The problem is that not every section lifts the same, so the wings in the center are going to lift a little bit different, so then you end up with openers at different depths, and you got to keep them all in the ground so they're not bleeding off, while at the same time trying to keep the pressure down so it's not throwing dirt and pushing it all over the corn plants. So I don't really find that TrueSet would be super necessary on this, but in this situation it would be a pretty nice thing to have. Ooh, these ends are getting tore up just from me turning on them, burying corn. That's all right. We got most of that field done on that first tank. I was surprised, but we just filled up again. I've got one pass right down the middle, and round over here in these short rows to do. So it appears we have a problem. So I noticed a row bleeding out more, that one over there, and then I looked in front of it, and I don't know if you can see that, but you see those drops there? I am pretty sure our Anhydrous hose has a hole in it, and that stuff is, those drops are like Anhydrous flinging in front of the row unit. So I'll stop when we get up here at the end and see if we need to trim our hose or what's going on there. Our blades should not be frozen, or the spring, or the mount, or any of that stuff. Something's leaking somewhere. I'll find it. Okay, our hose has come on. I don't know if you can see it. It's wiggly. So this is one with a vapor tube, which makes that liquid tube very hard to get to. I think I'm just going to take it apart. We're just going to pull the gauge wheel. There's a bunch of crap packed in behind it anyway. And then pull the blade, and then I can get to it easier. I got the gauge wheel off. I have some hand tools, wrenches, but that blade spins. They're a little hard to use. We're only a couple miles from the farm, not even. So I called Xander. He's going to bring me some tools, an impact, to get that blade off a little bit easier. You can see it frozen, freezes up. So ammonia, anhydrous ammonia, NH3, boils at negative 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So basically when we're dropping liquid on all of this stuff, it's cooling it to negative 28 degrees, which is why we now have mud frozen to the blade. And everything is just cold. So it's warming up, but it's going to take a little while, and it's frosty, and you can still see the dirt that's soaked in the anhydrous smoking off there. So that's why all this stuff freezes, because it's basically that anhydrous is boiling, and when it does that, it cools everything, or it's absorbing heat and freezes stuff. So anyway, this shouldn't be a hard fix. I'll just wait for my tools to get here. I got some extra hose clamps. We probably lost one, or at least it came loose. We'll put a new one on. Well, there's your problem. That needs to be attached to that. Easy fix. All good to go. Thank you. Keep her moving here. Oh, get my mask. That's better. It's not dripping and leaking everywhere. Cool. Well, if that's the worst thing that happens today, we're doing all right. Well, we've made it to the end of this field, so there's another 40 acres done. We're gonna head home and do the plot field. We got just that 24 acres or whatever we've got left there next to the farm, between the farm and the seed warehouse where our corn plots are. So we'll get that done. I called the agronomist yesterday to check in and make sure I didn't miss anything on our plans. The only thing that needs to be a different rates of nitrogen is our our GEM trial, genetics by environment by management, where the management style we're going to change. We have some strips where we have the same hybrid planted at different populations, and we're going to treat them different. One, we're going to kind of throw everything in the kitchen sink at it, right? Do every high management thing you can think of with fertility and fungicides and all of that, and high nitrogen rates. The other one is kind of a grower standard practice type thing where we're not pushing it, we're not managing it super intensely, we're just doing what we do normally, and see what kind of difference the management structure makes. So we're going to do 150 pounds of N on the standard, we're going to do 200 on the high management. All right, well, we are doing the plot field. We're doing border rows around the plot. Plot starts over there. Question: how much nitrogen should pumpkins have? I'm guessing some. So I think we're gonna put a little nitrogen on our pumpkins here. They're all planted directly on top of a row, so I should be able to side dress through it without actually getting any of the hills. So we'll see what happens here. All right, we are just about through the variety trials. I think we're going to end up doing a half a pass. It's just going to throw stuff off a little bit because my nitrogen management is right outside of that. So we'll see how that works out. But I have somebody else here to pick up some seeds, so we got to go deal with that here right now. Well, this feels wrong. No other way to really do this than to turn through my wheat field. Oh, wait. That was a bad idea. Wait. Break stuff here. I folded up the wings so that I wouldn't have the wing tires in the ground, and then you put the openers in the ground and don't have the wings folded back down. That's not a good thing. Anyway, yeah, I don't love turning on the wheat crop there, but I don't have a whole lot of other ways to do that, so it's okay. This should be the last plot rows, whatever. I have end rows along the wheat over there. I don't have to turn through it anymore, so this should be the last of the plot. This is a fungicide trial, so the nitrogen's not a factor here. Just putting us flat, 180 pounds per acre on the rest of this field. I finished that field here. Since we're right here at the farm, I decided to fuel up because when we started the day, we had like 375, 380 acres to go, which is more than what we can do on a tank of fuel, I think, or it'd be really close. And since we have 100 and some of those done, if I fuel up and put enough DEF in now, or fill up, we should have enough to finish the rest of the Anhydrous here at Waldron. And everything we have left is down the one road in the same direction, so I don't have to worry about coming back or taking the fuel trailer. We're using the fuel trailer here for the DEF because my shuttle was empty, so we put it all in this tank and just using that to pump it into the tractor. And while I'm stopped here, I thought I'd grab some lunch real quick, grab a bite to eat. It's about 12:45, just before 1 o'clock. Like I said earlier, we got a baseball game tonight, so I'm going to quit around 4-ish, 4:30 maybe, and go to the baseball game. I don't need to be in a hurry. We should be able to finish tomorrow regardless. If I can get another... Oh, there's 65 acres in the next field. If I can get that one done, we'll finish tomorrow, I think, pretty easily. So we'll see if the corn's even ready. I got that triangle field that we just planted last week on Wednesday. It's probably not even, just barely coming up. I don't even know if we can site dress that one yet. So, yeah. Of course, by lunch here, I do mean Mom's cookies. And check these out. These are called whoopie pies. If you want to know anything about these or how to make them, you can go check out our my second channel that I do with my mom, Baking Bakers. It's in the description. These are delicious. She used to make these when we would bale straw every summer in the as a kid, and they're kind of like an Oreo cakester, but better. I don't know. So you can go check that out. All right, we got our end rows done here. Across the road, we've got a big hay field. My buddy does this hay field. And they've got it mowed. He said they're going to bale tomorrow afternoon. If I've got time. I don't know that I'm going to have time, but he bought a new baler this year, and it's pretty freaking awesome. So he's like, hey, you should come film this. I'm like, yes, I should. So we'll see about that, if we can get over there tomorrow or not. Yeah, I don't know. We've got baseball tomorrow again, so, and I want to finish side dressing if possible. But they bale all of our straw, same guys that buy all the straw off of us out of the field. And so we'll get a chance to see this baler running sometime this summer. And probably it's actually going to be more impressive in straw than it is in hay. But he said they started running yesterday and they were getting it dialed in. He said they were pumping out 1,000 bales an hour, small squares with it. So that's moving. That's impressive. All right, let's talk for a second about anhydrous and kind of what we're doing here. So obviously we are putting on anhydrous ammonia on our corn, right? We're using NH3, which is the anhydrous, and it is 82% nitrogen. So there's several different forms of nitrogen that we could use. There's liquid, which we around here use 28%. In the southern areas, you can get 32% UAN, urea ammonium nitrate. It's liquid. You can get dry urea, and then there's a few other forms, but those are the big three. It's either liquid in the form of 28 or 32, dry urea, or the gas of anhydrous. There's ammonium nitrate, and that's not, I've never actually seen that. Pretty uncommon. There's AMS, but that's more for sulfur than it is for the nitrogen. And anyway, so we like the anhydrous ammonia because it's the cheapest form of nitrogen. It's easier for us to handle, which is kind of the harder to believe part of that, right? Because there is some risk with it. It's dangerous with the inhalation hazard and stuff. But essentially it works because anhydrous is NH3. So it's got nitrogen, 3 hydrogen atoms. And it is negatively charged, and it's desperately seeking to bind with moisture. Anhydrous simply means lacking water. And so when we inject this anhydrous into the soil, it seeks out the water that's in the soil, and wherever it can find a hydrogen molecule or atom, basically, and it binds to that hydrogen atom, and it forms ammonium, NH4, okay? NH4 is a plant-available form of nitrogen that our plants love and can take in, and it's super efficient nitrogen fertilizer for the plants. What then happens is that the microbes in the soil, once the soil temperature is above 50 degrees, which we are well above 50 degrees at this point, they start working on that ammonium and converting it into nitrites, NO2, I believe, and then eventually into nitrates, NO3, and it, as an ammonium molecule, it's fairly stable. It's not going to move through the soil. It's bound to the soil particles. Once that converts into nitrates and nitrites, then it becomes leachable and is more subject to loss, which isn't a great thing, but nitrates are also plant available and can be taken up by the plants. So, sorry, I'm making sure we're in the right spot here. Basically, we like using the ammonia because it's cheaper, it's less volume for us to handle, and it's super efficient for our plants. It's the best form of nitrogen for plants. It takes longer before it's subject to losses than if we would just put down 28 as liquid. That's 50% ammonium, 50% nitrate fertilizer, and so it's more subject to loss immediately. Now, another thing that is important to know is that so the air that you breathe is 78% nitrogen, right? It is 78% N2 gas. Now, N2 gas is not a plant-available form. The plants cannot take nitrogen out of the atmosphere. And so basically when they're making anhydrous ammonia, they use the Haber-Bosch process. They convert N2 gas into NH3 to make urea or to make UAN 28%. You start with anhydrous ammonia. So that's why anhydrous is usually the cheapest, because it's the first step in manufacturing other nitrogen fertilizers as well. So when we have a little bit volatilize or a little bit leak off, or when we're bleeding a hose, or if we had a leak, or for whatever reason, like there's no real pollution hazard or effect, because essentially what happens is it just breaks down and forms into N2 gas in the atmosphere, which is what most of air is anyway. So we don't like that because it's expensive, right? You're just losing it at that point. It does us no good, so we want to seal it into the ground as good as possible. But it's not the end of the world if we lose a little bit, or when we're bleeding the hoses out and that kind of stuff. Anyway, just thought we should probably address Anhydrous, why we're using it, what it is, a little bit. I'm sure there's more specific questions. You guys leave them in the comments, and I'll try and address them in a future video if you would like. For now, however, I'm going to jump on a YouTube live stream, so if you missed that one, you can check it out. We've got, what do we got? 39 acres done in this field of the 65. It is 2:30, so I've got about an hour and a half to 2 hours before I've got to quit for baseball. We'll finish this field pretty easily. I don't know that we'll get the next one done. There's 35 acres in the one next to this. We may get there, we may not today. But we do have another, we got 2 more full tanks, so we got plenty of Anhydrous to keep us going today. They must have got more trucks in, and hopefully they get some more in and we can finish this tomorrow. All right, well, we've finished the field over there. We jumped across the lane. We've got 23 acres done in this field. I just switched tanks again, and we've got enough to finish this field. However, it is 4:21, and I need to get out of here. I got a baseball game to go to today, so I'm gonna probably call somebody and see if I can get a ride back to the farm, and we're just gonna shut her down for the rest of the day. We did pretty good. I got as far as I was hoping to, and a little bit more done. I wanted to get that field done. I was kind of hoping maybe we'd get this one, but we're not quite gonna get there, I don't think. So that's all right. We'll total it up when we get done here. All right, well, my ride's over there, so we're just gonna call it right here. We got close. That's all we got left in this field, but I gotta go. Let's see what our totals say for the day. Get up to the end here. Custom totals. For today, we did 190. That's pretty good. That'll work. That's probably it for today, I think. Probably. We're going to go to baseball, and then I'm probably not coming back. It's going to be late before we get back. So thanks for watching this one. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'll see you again tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to finish or not. We got 189 acres to go, which is conveniently exactly what we did today. So, can we finish tomorrow? Yeah, we can finish tomorrow. And should, but we also have baseball tomorrow. And so we'll see. Yeah, have a great night. See you in the morning.
Okay? Let's say, let's go, brace it, give him a clap. Oh, that wasn't even a solid swing.
Run, 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 run.